Hello, my fellow abnormals. So I have way too many things to talk about, and there's just way too many things. I have to make a video that I promised when I would make about getting along with others. And honestly, the one reason, even if I even had time for the main videos I haven't, is because I don't know how much advice I can give because things haven't really been that easy for me either when it comes to people I live with and things like that. So honestly, I didn't think I could make a relatively, I mean, truthful video about it. Um, but in general, I mean, I always have a lot to say. I just haven't had enough time. There's been so much going on. Um, and honestly, these rants are supposed to be truthful. And in general, I have a rant that I want to say about religion, and society, and one about judgmental behavior in society. But something is missing there. It had to do with cultural differences. Now, the cultural difference one is more on my mind, I guess. In general, there are plenty of things always on my mind. First of all, I don't know exactly how to start this because usually it comes naturally and I make a video when I have time during the day when I have those feelings. And this was about a week ago, if not a week and a half ago. Sadly, I haven't had time and I have a roommate, so it's like, and I feel bad enough as it is because I work on the phone. So I feel bad enough as it is, like asking her like be quiet while I'm doing that. So what happens is I'm in a foreign country. I've lived here for 11 years, and there are many cultural differences, many behavioral differences because of that culture. Now, something that I've realized, a lot of the population that makes up this society are very stubborn people, but they're very they're very dedicated and devoted and loyal to their culture, but they're very stubborn and closed-minded about it. Now, when people are raised that your culture is supposed to be this way, and then someone comes that's a little different, they feel a threat towards their culture. And when people feel threatened, they have a way of going on the offensive. Now, for example, we don't speak English in this country. I don't know if people know what the country is. I don't feel like saying it because I don't know what's gonna happen with these videos ever. But I'm not here for a political debate about where I live. It just doesn't interest me. Politics don't interest me. This is the land that I live in, and there's nothing I'm going to do about it because it's just how it is. And I don't think people can understand. But I'm just not gonna get into it. So, in any case, they speak one language here, it's not English, and we speak English. So my sister ended up on a television show, and I get a message from one of an acquaintance nowadays, more than a friend, but it's on Facebook, so naturally I speak to everyone, saying, like, it's such an embarrassment that after all these years, your sister can still only speak English and not our language. And, and honestly, I'm going through a big change in university. I'm exposed to a lot more of the culture of the land that I live in rather than the American culture. So I'm picking up on a lot, and I'm trying to choose what I want to affect me from both cultures because I'm entitled to. If I have the capability to control which aspects affect me and I'm aware enough, then why shouldn't I? I'm interested in improving myself and relating to people. I'm not interested in isolating or worsening my behavior or my personality or my essence. It's just not my thing. So I understand a lot where he's coming from. I was beginning to also, feel frustration about people who are foreign in comparison to the people who naturally live here and everything. And I was beginning to feel where that resentment and anger comes from people who have lived in the country their entire lives. It comes from a place of they believe people from other countries believe they're superior. No, that's false. I am someone that came from another country. I don't believe I'm superior, and I don't behave that way. But because they already have that thought in their mind, that outline, that prejudice, they they automatically put you into this stencil, and they don't give you a full chance to get to know you once they hear this fact about you that you're from a different country, that you're from America. And that's closed-minded of them, not you. And my religion and my culture are very intertwined and very related, and they're very integrated. So when someone takes a jab at my sister for not being part of the culture, they're taking a jab at much more. And regardless, it's inappropriate to say anything about how it's an embarrassment, even if it was half a joke or a whole joke. It doesn't matter. It really grinded my gears, and it really got me thinking about how just because I'm American doesn't make me less part of my culture, and just because someone seems less devoted doesn't give someone else the right to judge you. And it does, and I don't know what people's point of this judgmental, overreactive, and completely inappropriate behavior comes from. I mean, I understand where it comes from. I don't understand why they believe it's justifiable. I don't know how they can keep it up this way and feel it's okay. Like, do people not open their eyes and their mind and remember that we're all people when it comes down to it? We're made up of many different factors and variables, and we're influenced by many different cultures, societies, anything that we've ever read or listened to or seen. It doesn't matter if I'm American or if I'm from the moon. No matter what, there's going to be more than one variable in my life that makes up who I am. Even if you can put into a category a lot of the things that make me up, like, oh, she's American, so that means she's this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. Guess what? I'm also part of this culture. So someone American wouldn't see me completely American anymore. I'm made up of many things. And like I said, different things scare people, especially in this situation, because they automatically assume that something different is a threat, so we must defend ourselves. They're threatening our stubborn, completely solid belief in our society and culture, because they're different. They're coming with other influences. We're human beings, and our society is always evolving. And if that means that it may be bettered by implementing other societies' behaviorisms and traditions and little habits, then there's nothing wrong with it. You don't have to feel threatened. If bettering your society means looking and listening to other cultures every now and then, because it's not that they're better than you, and it's not that they're trying to change you. It's that maybe some societies have been faced with trouble or problems, issues that you haven't had to face yet. So they've had to deal with those issues. So you can, like, just how you can learn from other people's mistakes, you can learn from other cultures' mistakes or other cultures' hardships. You know, like, if one country has an economical crisis because they acted this and this way, why should other why should other countries not take a glance and be like, oh, we're doing something similar, but we haven't gotten to that place yet. Maybe we should stop here and start working to better our situation. There's nothing wrong with that. You can learn from other people. You don't have to be stubborn and closed-minded because you're scared you'll lose the solidified base that you hold your culture on. This closed-mindedness only, you know, my culture, my religion, is a one that was persecuted many times throughout history. So you would think in the country and the nation within where we're supposed to finally feel safe, you would think that people would allow us to feel safe instead of finding new things to divide us. The country I live in is a country of immigrants. We've come from all other places to find safety, to find a place of our own where no one can kick us out because it's ours. It's where we belong. Finally, everyone wanted to kick us out of their countries throughout the years. Every single culture, religion, empire has found some reason to try to murder us. So you would think when we finally found a way to have our own safety, you would think these prejudices and these horrible persecutions would end, but instead they find new ways. Human nature is disgusting. This natural way to find need to defend ourselves against what? Against evolution? The fact that I have green eyes is a part of evolution. It's a mutation. Everyone seems to love my green eyes. The fact that I have pale skin. The fact that I have white teeth. It's all part of evolving science and pigmentation and mutation. We are an evolved species. Maybe it's time people start accepting evolution rather than looking at moving forward in production as something to be afraid of because it might hurt the solidified base. Why can't it build on it? Well, because we might have to remove this block with a better one. People are so scared of change because it's the unknown. And sometimes the devil you know is better than the one you don't, and I get that. But there's no reason to persecute for any reason, especially when you should be part of the nation that understands that the most. Other countries have the audacity to look at us and accuse us of persecution. And yeah, we do defend ourselves, but I wouldn't say that we are on the offensive. We don't attack. We try to live in peace and harmony. But yeah, when people try to attack us, we're entitled to defend ourselves. The same way when he accused was offensive to my sister because she doesn't know the language, I said to him, "Shut the fuck up. How dare you? First of all, she doesn't know the language. And second of all, who the fuck are you to judge? Who cares?" To defend yourself, there's nothing to be ashamed of. But to be overprotective and closed-minded and harmful, that is something to be ashamed of. My sister shouldn't be ashamed of the fact that maybe she doesn't know the language as well as everyone else. He should be ashamed of the fact that he just persecuted her because she didn't know the language and told her that she should be ashamed purely because she didn't speak in the language of the country on TV because that's what they wanted her to look. They wanted her to look like a foreigner. They wanted her to look special because she was a foreigner. Closed-mindedness comes from fear. Perhaps have a little bit more faith in humanity and realize that it's not your place to be so judgmental. Nobody's perfect. I'm sure if you were in another country, you wouldn't want them to persecute you and make you feel bad that you didn't know the language, or that you didn't know all the etiquette and behaviors and habits. You wouldn't. You would feel horrible. But nobody should have to go through that to learn. You should just there shouldn't be that instinct to judge. Sometimes things go bump in the night here. It's scary. But this is already a 12 and a half minute long video, so I'm gonna stop now and stop, and maybe I'll just upload another one and another one and another one until I spoke about everything I wanted to speak about over the past few months, and it will just be different videos. So bye for now.